Alright, hello everyone, this is Teamrocketdraws with another Pokemon tutorial, and this time we're gonna draw Sylveon. So as you guys can see on screen, this is how she ends up looking like. So if you guys would like to learn how to draw her, I guess we could get started. I'm also gonna put up a reference right now on screen, that way you guys can know how everything should be, and at the same time know what I'm talking about during the video. Alright, so just keep in mind that she's not gonna end up looking like the reference 100%. Since I am trying to make a tutorial and everything, but we do end up getting pretty close, as you guys saw in the picture. So yeah, so first of all, we're just gonna start by doing a circle. So what I like to do is I like to do the inside first, like the cross, and right here just do a line going down. And as you guys can see right here, I'm using a spare piece of paper, and then I measure the length of the line, and then I just do them the same, you know, on each side. So so right there I'm doing one side, and I'm doing the other side from the middle. So from the middle to each side, going up, down, left, right, they should be the same length, you know. And you guys can use a ruler, you guys can use whatever, but as you guys can see right here, I'm using a piece of paper. So as you guys can see right here, I mark it off, and then I just write a letter, letter C, just so I can know that that's for the circle, you know, the length of the circle. And then what we could do is the same thing, going across into the corners. You guys could do the line, but what I like to do is just do the dots, and that's just gonna help us do the circle, because we're trying to get a perfect circle. And you guys can see right here, I just connect the dots each side, each point, and it'll give us not a perfect circle, but it'll be way closer than if we just did it like that, you know, without measuring or anything like that. And the reason we're trying to do a perfect circle is because we're gonna base almost everything off this. So the better that you guys make this circle, the better your the easier your drawing will be once we get started, you know, because we're gonna start with this circle right here, and then we're gonna do the body, like lines for the body, and then and from there we're gonna do the rest, you know. So the better that you guys make it, the easier it will be. So now that we have this cross right here, as you guys can see, we're gonna do a line going straight down. We're just gonna continue the middle one, and I think I measure it right now, and I measure from the middle of the circle, the first circle that we did. I measure from there, and then I mark off the length of the circle. From there I just make a little dot, and then we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna measure another circle, the length of another one, but we're gonna extend it just a little bit more than the length of a circle. There we go. So that's how long the body is gonna be. So you guys could do a line like I did there, going across the bottom of the paper, just to let us know that nothing should go under that line, you know. That's the bottom. Alright, just extend the line, and remember not to press that hard, because there is gonna be some erasing. So now what we could do is extend these lines right here on the side of the circle. Just extend them going down, you know, and they should be the same length. So from the middle line to the ones on the side, it should be once again the same length as half the circle, which I mark off right now. So right there is good, I believe, or I'm a little bit off. I wasn't that off, but I was pretty close. So as you guys can see, and the reason we're trying to get it precise with measuring and everything is just so it could make it easier for you guys. That way your drawing could be a little bit more accurate to the tutorial. So it's just gonna be easier for you guys doing all this. And then from this, we're just gonna do another line going across the middle of the body, which we'll do right now, and that's gonna be the last reference line that we're gonna do. So we're gonna measure the length of the line from the bottom of the circle to the bottom, and that's the length of the body. So as you guys can see, I mark it off, and then I put a B for body, and then I just fold the paper to that the corner to that point, and now that'll give us exactly the middle. So right here I mark it off on the paper, and then I believe I name it too. I put a HB, I think, yeah, for half body. You guys don't have to do this, but it's just so it won't be that confusing. So now that we have the middle, we're gonna mark off the middle, mark it off, and then we're gonna do a line going across right there to the right. There we go. And that's just gonna help us place the leg and the body. It's just gonna make it a little bit easier on us. And this is the, and we could erase the bottom line, we don't need it, as long as we still know that we can go lower than those points, you know. Alright, so now that we have this, we're gonna do the drawing. From here on, it all depends on you guys. You guys can use the reference to help you guys know exactly where everything goes, but yeah, let's get started. So we're gonna start off with the ears, and just do them right there in the middle of each of those sides, and just do a line. And both lines should be the same length, the same everything. I believe I do measure right now, and I think they should be right here. I'm measuring the circle. I believe is the length of a circle, and then just a little bit more, if I'm not wrong. So do I extend it a little bit more, or do I leave it? And the reason I don't know is because yeah, I do extend it just a little bit more. And then what I do is I do a line going across the top of the paper, because both ears should be the same. So if you guys do that line, that way you guys can know how to do the other ear, the other line, because they should end up at the same point, you know, if you guys measure them. So as you guys can see, I was wrong in the angle, so I just changed the angle a little bit, and then there we go, we got that ear, and they're basically the same length. So that's just gonna help us do the ears. Now that we have the ears, we're gonna start with the point on top of the eyes. I honestly don't know which starts around here, a little bit to the left of the middle line, and then over here on this side, and it goes up to almost like the middle of the first right there. And then what we could do is just that's what I was pointing out, that it's right in the middle of that small shape inside of the circle. What we could do is just extend the line like this on top, and that's just gonna help us know to place this one over here on this side, because they should be at the same level, you know. And you guys don't have to do this, it's just you guys could do it just to make it a little bit easier. So remember not to do some of these lines that dark, you know, because those are just reference lines that we're gonna end up erasing. So now right now sorry about that, we're gonna do the eyes. So just pay close attention to how far the eyes are to the line that's on top. And if you guys look at the reference, it's almost the same on top of the eye, on the sides of the eye to the pink part. It's almost the same gap. So that's how you guys can make your eyes. And then the bottom is just rounded off, and as you guys can see, it goes a little bit lower than the line going across the circle. It doesn't go that below that line. And now we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. And once again, something that you guys could do is go do a line going across one eye to the other one like this, just to help you guys place them at the right level, you know. And as you guys can see, once again, this one doesn't go that far down from the middle of the circle. And then once again, just round off the bottom, because the top, it's kind of like a rounded off triangle shape. I don't know if you guys know what I mean. And then what you guys could do is just do these little dark lines that she has on the corner of the eyes. It's something that I never noticed until I was doing the drawing, that she has these right here. Now we could erase the reference line inside of the eye from the circle. We don't need it. And I guess we could do the highlight. You guys don't have to do this, I just do this just to show you guys. That way the drawing could be a little bit more alive, you know, it's not that dull. But if you guys are planning to color Sylveon, I recommend that you guys don't outline those highlights on the eye, because they're not outlined. So you should just do that with the colors, you know. So now right here, not exactly under that, but a little bit to the right, we're gonna do this line and it goes up to right here, like right in the middle of that corner shape from the circle. And this is gonna be the bow on the neck. So I was just pointing out the gap between that and the eye. It's like right under the eye. And now we're gonna go a little bit down from the circle, and that's just gonna be the bottom of the bow, so you guys could do a straight line like that, and then just connect it, you know, with the top, and it makes almost like a butterfly shape, like the wing. And then once again on the other side. And another thing is that both wings should be leveled up, like they should be at the same level once again, just like the eyes. There we go. Do the same thing on this side. And both sides should be the same, you know, they should be the same thickness, the same size and everything. So just try to make them the same size. As you guys can see, the last one's a little bit smaller, so I do go back and I erase it, I believe. It's not by that much, honestly, but it just makes it a little bit better. I guess I don't change that. And then we could do the shape that she has on the inside. It's like this pink circle. There we go. It's like right in the middle. Here we go. And now we can start by doing the mouth. So the mouth is right under the corner of the eye, and it's at the same level of the wings. So the same thing on the other side. Right under the corner of the eye, same level as the tip of the wing, and then just round it off, you know. And just put a smile on her face. And then the only thing we need now is just the nose. So the nose is right under this point on the forehead. It's right under the eyes. There we go, and it's pretty small. And the bigger that you guys make it, the easier it'll be. It's just that my drawing is pretty small, as you guys can see, compared to the pencil and to my fingers. For some reason I always tend to do them really small, so the lines tend to be a little bit thicker, so sometimes it doesn't look that good, you know. So now for the ears, we're just gonna do this kind of like this arrow shape, and then we're gonna do like a gap on this side, and try to make both gaps the same distance. So this as I'm pointing out right here, and I was just pointing out that it's almost like the same gap from the eye to the pink part. And now that we have that, we're just gonna curve it a little bit and connect it to the top. And there we go, and that's gonna be our first ear. And something that I did end up doing that I didn't notice is, and just try to do the same thing on this side. I was just pointing out that it should be the same gap once again. And like I was saying, I end up doing this ear a little bit smaller because right here I didn't curve it enough. It's almost like a straight line. I didn't curve it enough like on the other side, so it ends up looking a little bit smaller. And I didn't notice that when I was doing the drawing. I didn't notice, honestly, not even when I colored it. I noticed it when I was doing this tutorial, but it's alright, you know. Hopefully you guys make that change. So now for the bow. The bow starts around here, so we're just gonna do the bottom right there. Start it off from there. There we go. To the bottom, and as you guys can see right here, it doesn't go exactly in the middle of the head. It's doesn't go quite that far. And once again, do the space for the top. And then I end up erasing this one because it doesn't look right. And just extend this one. This one goes a little bit further than the ear. There we go. This side came a little bit better, so then I go back and erase the other one. So it's never gonna work out exactly on the first time, so sometimes it might take you a couple tries to do something, but it's alright, you know. It happens to everybody. So then just try to copy the same thing on the other side. Try to make both of those, I'm gonna call them butterfly wings, the same, you know. At least try to. And as I know they're bows, you know, but they just look like butterflies. So this bow should be bigger than the one on the neck, so just make sure that it's bigger. If you guys look at the reference, it's quite a difference between both of them. There we go. Alright, that seems good. Alright, so now we just need to do the once again the circle on the inside, which is pink. And like I said before, if you guys are planning to color it, don't do this. I'm just doing this to give it a little bit more detail on the drawing. But honestly, if I was just drawing this for me, I wouldn't do those. Like if I wasn't making a video, I wouldn't outline that. I would just do it when I was coloring it. And now for right here in the inside of in the middle of the ear, we're gonna do the inner ear, the blue part that she has on the ear. So we're just gonna end at a point right there. And then we're gonna do exactly the same thing on the other side. But I believe I do the little hair sticking out on the right side, and I was just pointing out that it's a little bit higher than that middle where the point where the blue is. It's a little bit higher than that. So we could just extend this a little bit more like that, and just erase the bottom to give us this shape right here. And the shapes right here that I'm doing are a little bit rough. They're a little bit not natural, I guess that's the word. So like I said before, usually this is I call this a rough sketch, or a sketch in general. And then after we're done with the drawing, we're gonna make the changes. We're gonna fix the lines to make them a little bit more natural, you know, a little bit more better, a little bit more clean. Because like this, it seems a little bit too stiff, but we could always change that after we're done with most of the drawing, you know. And this year we're gonna do the same thing, but over here we're gonna start at the bottom, right where it meets the head, and just try to make them on the same level, you know. The blue, the inner ear, because as you guys see on the screen, on the reference, they're on the same level, the points. You guys could do a line going across from one to the other one, that way you guys can make it a little bit more accurate. But once again, you guys don't have to. And then on this side, it has that little part sticking out on the ear. Once again, a little bit higher than the blue part in the ear. And now we could just erase those reference lines. There we go, we're done with the ears. Now we're gonna start with the body. So right above the middle line of the body, we're just gonna do this line like this. It's kind of pointing to the side of the head almost. And then at the bottom right here, this is where the legs foot should be. So it should be less than the middle of that, half of that. So as you guys see right there, I just marked off the half, just to show you guys that it should be less than half. And then right where it meets the middle line right there that goes across, it should be right in the middle. So there we go. I don't know if that makes sense what I'm saying, but if you guys just look at the video, maybe it'll be a little bit more easier. And now we're gonna do the other leg, which as you guys can see gets pretty close to that leg that we did before this one. And then it goes up to around here. It doesn't go all the way down. Almost in the middle of that line, from the middle to the bottom. And then just try to do this circle. Doesn't go further than the ears. If you guys do a line going down the side of the ears, as you guys see, it doesn't go further than the ears. And just try to do this circle right here, and that's gonna be the back leg. And then right here, I just sharpen my pencil, because since I am doing a really small drawing, it really helps to have a sharp point. Alright, now that we have that, we can start by doing the body on the top part. And it has this line from the bow around there, and then it just connects to the middle of the circle like this, and just curve them a little bit. You guys can see the reference, just to get a better idea of how it looks, you know, the angle and everything. And now we're gonna do the other leg, and once again try to make it the same gap, the same thickness, as I point out right there a couple times. And then around here, right where the middle line of the body is, we're gonna do this line that curves to this point over here. You guys don't have to do this line right here, because as you guys see in the reference, it doesn't have it. But I was just showing you guys where it goes, and that's gonna be like the torso. And then right there, we're just gonna continue that. And right before the middle line, we're gonna actually curve it a little bit and connect it with the bottom. There we go. And if you guys are having trouble right there, you guys could do any changes to your drawing. You guys don't have to follow my drawing 100%. I believe that's one of the hardest points, is doing that leg. If you guys want to make any changes just so it could work for you, go ahead. And now we're gonna do the foot on the back leg right here. And then we're gonna start by doing, I believe, the toes. Right here I mark off like the dark pink of the foot, if you guys look at the reference. And then right here I start doing the toes, and as you guys can see, they're at the same level as the line that we did. And I do end up erasing the reference lines right here, and don't erase them. I actually went ahead and did that, but we needed those to do the tail and to do the bow, the scarf I mean, around the neck. So don't erase them. I made a mistake right there, but I do redraw them in a little bit, so don't erase those. We still need those. Alright, so now right here I'm just adding the detail once again, like I said, on the dark pink, the foot. Alright, so now for the foot on this side. You guys can look at the reference just to get a better idea of how it looks. But they're basically like little circles almost. Like not complete circles. The middle one is the biggest one, and then they go to the side. Right here I simplified the foot a lot, just so you guys can get a better idea of how it looks. Maybe you guys could do a better foot. That's why I put the reference on screen. That way you guys could make any changes that you guys feel are necessary. You know, you guys don't have to follow me 100%. If you can make it better, go ahead. But both of them should be the same size and everything. Don't do one bigger than the other one. So now we're gonna start by doing the other leg, the other foot. And right here I really recommend that you guys use the reference, because it might get a little bit confusing right here. For example, right here I'm doing the foot, and I noticed that on the reference it doesn't there's a small gap between both foots. You know, they don't touch each other. So that's what I did right there. And these are just the small lines that you guys can see on the reference. It's like the body lines, you know. They don't connect. It goes up to the torso. So right here I just fixed the leg. You guys can make a better leg, I'm pretty sure. And then we're gonna do like the little boots. They look like boots, like cowboy boots for some reason. But it goes like into the middle, you know. Like that, it goes right in the middle, the point's right in the middle. So I just try to do both of them the same.
Don't try this yourself.
There we go. And now for the bow. So the bow I know starts around here, and I know it gets as you can see right here, I redraw those reference lines because we do need them. So hopefully you guys didn't erase them. If you did, then just redraw them, you know. So this bow gets pretty close to that line going down the side of the circle, the reference line. And then this is like the bottom side of the bow. It doesn't go that far away from the circle for the leg. And it almost makes like an M for the end of the scarf, as you guys can see right here. Sideways M. And then just before you guys do the rest, I guess we could erase the inside since we already have that part. But now that we have the bottom, we can start by doing the top. So the top, or I mean the top, the bottom side starts right in the corner right there. It goes up a little bit. And something that I noticed is that it doesn't go further than the level of the circle that we did for the head, as you guys see right there. So I don't make this higher than that. So I'm just comparing to see how high it goes on the reference. And then it has this line right here. And now we can do the top line, which it starts off pretty small and then it gets bigger as it goes. And then it almost gets it gets pretty close right here, as you guys can see, to this line. So I change it. So I know it gets pretty close to that one, so now I could just change it and make it work with the rest of the scarf that we did. And there we go. And remember that the scarf doesn't have any straight lines since it is wavy and everything, so don't do no straight lines. Make it wavy, circle, you know, make it look natural. But for now, I believe I leave it like this, but I think I do make some changes later on. So now for the tail doesn't go further than the scarf, higher than the scarf I mean, and it gets pretty close to the scarf at the top, right here at the point. And then we're just gonna make this point right there, and then the tail right here, I redraw the circle just to get a better idea where it starts. It's around here. As you guys can see, the top gets skinnier as it goes up. Alright, I guess I didn't do that on my drawing, but if you guys look at the reference, the bottom is thicker. And then for the bottom right here, it has, once again, just like the ears, it has this extra little point right there sticking out. And then we just erase the inner line so we could have this. Once again, maybe you guys could do a better job, but for right now, that's just a rough sketch. We can make any changes later on once we finish the drawing. You know, everything's gonna be a little bit more noticeable. So now for this side, start stuff around there. Then it gets pretty close to the middle right there. And once again, it doesn't go higher than the bottom of the circle for the head that we did. And then it gets pretty close to that line right there. Now we can start by doing the top. Gets thicker, and then right here just do this line where you know where it bends. And once again, it gets pretty close to that line. So I believe I do that in a little bit. Yeah, right here. As you see, I started off there because I know that it gets pretty close to that one, you know. So then I could just curve the top right here. I could have done a way better job, and actually have trouble doing this scarf right at the end. You guys will see why I made it too thick, but I do change that later on. I'll show you guys how the drawing ended up looking like. And I did make some changes. Maybe they're not gonna be that noticeable, but I fixed them a little bit. So right here is once again, it kind of makes like this M shape, and then this is where I had trouble. It didn't line up right. So I believe I extend the scarf a little bit more just so it could line up a little bit better on my drawing. But as you guys can see right there, it doesn't add up right. It's too thick right there. So once again, use the reference just to get a better idea, you know, like you guys don't have to follow me. I have trouble doing the drawing too, so doesn't mean I'm not gonna have any problems just because I'm doing the tutorial. Everybody has their problems, and I don't like to cut these parts because I'm just trying to show you guys that you guys are gonna run into some problems. Sometimes something's not gonna line up, or sometimes something's not gonna work out, and you just have to change it, you know. And as you can see, I left it right there just because I wasn't doing anything good, like I wasn't making it better. So I'll go back to that in a little bit. So that's why I stopped doing that. We're gonna do the little hair sticking out on the ear, and then the top one should be a little bit bigger than the bottom one. If you guys look at the reference, and we're pretty much done. We just need the scarf on the top, and this one's a lot smaller than the one that she has on the neck. So just make it a little bit smaller, you know. Then this one gets pretty close to the ear. If you look at the reference, it gets really close to the ear, but it doesn't touch it. See, like right there, I could have made it a little bit closer to the right ear where the bow is. If you guys look at the reference, it like goes back to the ear, almost touches it, and I didn't do that on my drawing. And honestly, I didn't notice that until right now, but you guys could always do that, you know. Doesn't have to be 100% like the reference. And then once again do the top, which is kind of like an M. It makes like an M, so it might help you. And we're pretty much done. So now that you guys got your drawing done, go over your drawing. If something doesn't look right, for example, for me it's the scarf, the left one. Make any changes, you know, go over your drawing. If there's anything that doesn't look right, now it's when you're gonna notice. So go back and change it. And something that I like to do on my drawings is that I erase the whole drawing, as you guys can see right here. I just grab a big eraser and I erase the whole drawing. And I can still see those lines because I pressed a little bit hard on my paper. I can still see them. That's why I said not to press that hard on your drawing, because some of those reference lines, we're gonna erase them, you know. And if you pressed a little bit too hard, they're still gonna be noticeable. And they're a lot noticeable on mine just because I pressed a little bit harder just so the lines could show up on the video. But this is what I like to do. This is when I start making any changes. So I started drawing, as you guys can see right here. I did the head, and I forgot to show you guys how to do the head, but as you guys can see, it's not a circle. Maybe you guys can look at the reference just to fix the head a little bit, you know, it's not a full circle. But now that we have the drawing, you know, make the lines a little bit better, change the lines since that was a rough sketch. What a lot of people like to do is ink their drawing, so just make any changes when you're inking the drawing. When you're using like a pen or something, a Sharpie to outline the paper, that's when you can make the changes, you know. You don't have to erase your drawing. Or what a lot of people like to do is that they like to trace their drawing into another piece of paper. That way the other piece of paper will be a lot cleaner, you know. There won't be any mistakes that still show, you know. And that's what a lot of people do. But what I like to do is just erase the drawing and then just redraw and make any changes, you know. So what I like to do is just make the lines a little bit better, curve them, make them a little bit more natural. And this is when I pay close attention to the reference, because I'm trying to see exactly how the lines go, make them better. So that's why I put the reference up there for you guys. That way you guys can use the reference as a guide, instead of looking at mine. Like, you guys don't have to follow mine. But right here I'm just looking over the drawing, trying to make it a lot better, trying to curve the lines a little bit more, the scarf. And as you guys can see, it looks a lot better like this once you clean it up. So I did end up coloring. I'll show you guys just in a little bit how it ended up looking like. I don't usually color my drawings. This time I used color pencils. Because I'm really bad at coloring. This is just something that I've never been really good at. But I started using my color pencils. And right here for the scarf, don't do these lines if you guys are gonna color it. This is where I erase them, I believe, or I redraw them. But don't, if you guys are planning to color it, don't do those lines, or at least don't press that hard, because if you guys look at the reference, there's no outline for that. So just color that in, you know. I do outline it just once again, just so I could show you guys the drawing, how it looks like, the outline and everything. But if I was planning to color it just on my own without making a video, I wouldn't outline that. And like I said, I did color it. I used Crayola color pencils. I'm not that good at coloring, so it didn't come out that good. But I'll show you guys how it ended up looking like in a little bit. So yeah, so just make any changes to your drawing. And if you got this far, please leave a like, guys. It really helps out my channel, it helps out my video. If you found this tutorial helpful, please leave a like. Subscribe for more tutorials. I do a lot of Pokemon tutorials. I have over 80 Pokemon tutorials as of this video. This was the last evolution that I needed to finish all the evolutions. So if you guys would like to draw any of the other evolutions, make sure to check out my channel, or I think I'll post the link of the playlist on the description at the bottom, so you guys can check that out if you guys want to see the other tutorials. And yeah, so right here, I don't know if you guys can see it on the video, but the lines are still noticeable. The ones that I erased, they're still there. But this is where I fix anything that doesn't look right. I make any changes. And yeah, so I'm not gonna show you the rest. I'll just show you guys how it ended up looking like. So as you guys can see, this is how it looks like, just the outline. I think it came out pretty good. I like it. I honestly like the outline in pencil better than in color. I don't know why. It's just something that I've always liked. I always liked just drawing some pencil, but that's just my taste. It's not the same for everybody. But yeah, so now this is how I ended up coloring it. I guess it came out pretty good. I like how it came out. I didn't have the right colors for I didn't have like the right pinks and everything else, but I just used like dark pink and pinks for the pink areas, and then for the skin, which I believe is pink too, but it kind of looks white, but the shadows have pink to it. So I just the white part, I just used the pink, but I just pressed on really lightly, that way it won't show that much. And then for the shadows, I just used another pink and then pressed a little bit harder on that, you know. And then for the blues, I just used the baby blue and just a darker blue. And as you guys can see the eyes, that's what I meant, that not to outline the highlights of the eyes. And also on the scarves, as you guys can see, I erased the outlines just so they won't show, because if you guys look at the reference, it doesn't have those. So that's what I meant, because if you outline those, they're gonna show up and it's not gonna look right, you know. So yeah, and I just left it in pencil and color pencils. I didn't outline in any like blank ink or darker outline or anything like that. I like my drawings in just pencil and color pencils. But I guess that's the tutorial, guys. It's 36 minutes long. I'm really sorry about that, but I just want to say thanks for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for any other Pokemon that you guys want me to draw, just make sure to subscribe and leave a comment. But just remember that I have a list of Pokemon. A lot of people have suggested a lot of Pokemon, and I'm going one by one, so it might take a while for me to do the Pokemon that you want me to draw. But it doesn't hurt to leave a like, you know, to leave a comment of the one that you want me to draw, and I'll make sure to put it on next on my list. So I'll go as I go, you know. So don't forget to leave a like once again and to subscribe for more tutorials. So I guess I'll just catch you guys on the next video. Team Rocket Draws out.